Hi, Linda Joy.
Hi, Nina. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Nice talking to you again.
Yep. So we're back today talking to you about memoir writing.
It's a very popular subject these days.
It is, and I have a lot of people who come to me and want to write a memoir. So I'm really interested in talking to you about how to get started.
Yes, that is the tricky part sometimes.
It is. So let's go ahead and get started. So tell me, for people who want to get started writing a memoir, you have so many different memories. How do you mine those memories for the correct ones, or the ones you think are the best to begin a memoir?
Well, that's a really good question, and I think that for some people it's easier than others, but there's lots of ways to stimulate your mind and your memories, and one of the best ones is to look at old photographs and to write from the photographs, write about who you were, write about where you are. Another is to make a list of like the 10 or 12 most kind of juicy or easily remembered memories that you have, and they may or may not be all the things you want to write about, but I think the more you start working with your memories, the more memories you actually have. The writing process itself also brings up lots of memories, and what really also helps is to write in scene as if you're really in that place and at that time. So sometimes doing research, for instance, on Google about the era that you grew up in, or you can research where you grew up on Google Earth now and kind of drive around the neighborhood on Google Earth. And it's amazing. I mean, it brings up a lot of feelings and memories, and sometimes the house isn't there, but there's the street or the trees or the school or whatever. I've done that a bit, and it's very, very evocative. So those are some of the great ways to get started with getting your memories down on the page.
Those are really great tips. So with all those memories and all that information, how do you know out of your whole life and all those things that you have in your mind, where to get started, what time period of your life to use for your memoir?
Well, I always suggest that people make a list of the 10, because we have so many things we could write about. A whole lifetime is more than you can possibly capture in a book. And a memoir is a focused period of time that usually has some kind of theme, whether it's some kind of recovery or finding your birth mother or an adventure, whatever it might be. So you make a list of 10 to 15 turning point moments, I call it. And you make this list based on moments that changed your life. And this might include more moments than you are going to put in your book, but when people get started, they don't sometimes know what they're going to be including. So you make this list, and then you make a timeline, what I call a timeline template. You divide a sheet of paper by decades, and the horizontal line is time. And you chart these memories on your timeline template, and it gives you a sense of how things cluster and, when things happen. It's usually very, very insightful, and people at my workshops and stuff say, oh, this is just so helpful because I was so overwhelmed.
Right. I did one of those timelines at one of your workshops, and it was really helpful.
Oh, good. Yeah, you're a witness.
I can give testimony to that fact.
Yeah. Great. Good. We need that. So
what are the best tools for writers to use when they're writing a memoir? Because I know, especially for me and some of the people I work with, we may be real hardcore nonfiction writers, and I know that you have to employ fiction tools when you're writing a memoir, because it has to read like fiction. So what's the advice you would give in this area?
Well, I really encourage people to write in scene, which means as if the action is happening on the stage in the now time of the era that you're writing about. And so you use fictional tools like description and a very focused point of view. And of course, in a memoir, the point of view is I. You're the main character. And it's as if there's a camera behind your eyes and you're guiding that camera around to the various sensual details, we call it, the wind, the sand, the sound, the feel of a place, whether it's damp or dry or bristly or soft. The way you feel in your body is part of the sensual details, and smells. These sensual details, actually, we respond emotionally to reading. When we read the words that describe these sensual details, we are embodied there in your body as if we're you, because you bring us right in with those kinds of details. And that's very powerful. The other thing I want to say about writing in scene is some writers get started and they write entirely in narrative, without really taking the reader there. I was just looking at a book this morning. It was all narrative. And I got sleepy within 5 minutes. And she might have had something really interesting to say, but I couldn't find the story in the narrative. So a series of scenes will tell you a story of what happened and who was there and how did it feel and how did it resolve. So that's kind of the shape of story, and I'll talk more about that later.
Okay.
Too.
So that's great, Linda. So for those people who are watching, Linda Joy Myers is the president of the National Association of Memoir Writers. And Linda, do you want to tell us where they can find your website and any other links to your books? Or Linda's an author.
Well, my blog is memoriesandmemoirs.com. And yes, I'm the president of NAMW, and you can find that at namw.org. But be sure to sign up for my blog at memoriesandmemoirs.com, because that's where I do my discussion about workshops and my own personal work, and you can find out about my book there. So thanks for being curious about this, and also you were in that workshop with me, and it was very fun to see what you were discovering along the way. So it's good to talk with you about this.
It is. You've been a big help for me, because I think transitioning to memoir from other forms of nonfiction really is a big change. It's something different because it does read like fiction. So it's an interesting form of nonfiction. So. Yes,
it's still nonfiction. And there's so much to be said about that. So, well, thanks a lot, Nina.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.